Hey, what's up, everybody? Anthony Sevens back again. Welcome to an episode of Let's Shoot the Shit. Today's topic is the age-old battle of the franchises: Star Trek or Star Wars. What's better? Now, a lot of people out there know me as being this huge Star Wars nutball, which is absolutely true. I am. But what a lot of people don't know or realize is I was born into a family that was huge Star Trek fans. So, be it that, my family was into it, that's how I, came to know and love that franchise as well. And I was probably one of the very first die-hard Star Wars fans in my family. Then I found out later on in life that I had, a couple cousins that were into it, and I had an uncle that was into Star Wars too. But, yeah, there really is no contest. They're two very different franchises. Yes, they're both kind of like this, sci-fi, fantasy, adventure stuff, but they're very different, with very different, morals to the story. For example, Star Wars is like rock and roll, Star Wars, lightsabers, laser blasters, spaceships flying through the sky, Wookiees, droids, aliens. And then you have Star Trek, which is more of like a sophisticated chess game with a shitload of action involved. It's kind of like Wizard's Chess from the Harry Potter franchise, where, it's a nice, peaceful chess game, and then some shit happens, and then, there's a lot of fighting going on, and phaser guns and ships fighting ships, and it's awesome. Awesome stuff. I think both franchises are absolutely fantastic. I think they're both loaded with amazing ships and starships and vehicles and technologies and weaponry, and I love the Star Trek uniforms, and at the same time I love the individuality of Star Trek or Star Wars costumes, and the Jedi apparel and stuff like that, and bounty hunters. There's just so much coolness between both franchises. It really is. The difference between Star Wars is like watching wrestling, where it's completely bullshit and fake, and then you have Star Trek, which is kind of like watching the Discovery Channel. Now, even though Star Trek isn't real to many extents, Star Trek, the thing I love about Star Trek the most, it's the hope. It is a hope. That's what these television series and motion pictures, always talk about. It's the hope of humanity becoming something fantastic and above and beyond our hopes and dreams and expectations, and this universal intergalactic unity between species and cultures and religions and races. And I also love the ideal of in the Star Trek universe, and our future, there is no need for money, because everybody just kind of works together for a mutual advantage, and there's just no bullshit. There's still, obviously you think about the Klingons versus the Federation. There's still race wars and battles, for power. I think that will always be. I don't think my generation will ever live to see the day that the world becomes very Star Trek. But when you think about it, and some people don't think about this, Star Trek is very, very much integrated into our reality. Let's take some bullshit examples, okay? You think about Star Trek on the bridge, there's sliding doors, sliding door technology. Fuck, you go to any supermarket, you go to any supermarket, like Target, Best Buy, Jewel, whatever, you step in front of the door, sliding door technology. We have that here in reality. And then if you think about it, Star Trek had it first. You think about their communication devices, little flip communication devices. And I think back, to the late 90s, early 2000s, we had flip phones, very much in the same kind of fashion. You think about, in Star Trek The Next Generation series, there was a lot of touchpad technology, and then touch screen technology. Well, look what we have here in real life today between iPhones and iPads and smartphones and all this, pads and tablets and things. Everything's touch screen technology. All of that, communication devices, everything. Star Trek had it first. So, when you think about that, and it's like, wow, we really have integrated what was once thought to be some bullshit sci-fi stuff we see on TV and in movies. We've integrated that into our reality, very much so, and we use this technology every single day. So it's with Star Trek being this hope of what humanity could become, we've already started traveling down that path. I mean, we're already starting to do this stuff. So who knows what the future of the world is going to be? It could become Star Trek, or the world could just fucking blow up and all of this shit means absolutely nothing anymore. So I don't know. Can't predict the future. But back to the subject at hand. Both franchises are awesome. You think about like Star Trek has, several successful television series, a whole mess of successful major motion pictures. Star Wars has a line of successful major motion pictures and a television series finally on the way after all of these decades, with Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian. Star Trek is still making movies and television series. I just started getting into the new Star Trek Discovery TV show, which is fantastic. Admittingly, I haven't seen it all yet, but I've made it through the first few episodes, and I think it's fucking brilliant stuff. I love both franchises because to me, when it comes to being a fan, there's always something to look forward to. Star Trek will never die. Star Wars will never die. There's always going to be new shit, and it's going to continue even long after I am dead and, feed for the worms in the ground. And I think, that the technologies, the entertainment for both fans are just spectacular. There's conventions for both franchises. There's just so much entertainment and so many things to look forward to. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love both franchises so much. I can't wait to see the next storylines or the next spaceships or the costume designs or whatever the case may be. And when it comes to Star Wars, there's many years that I feel, and I think a lot of other Star Wars fans feel, there's a lot of years that have been wasted. Lack of development on things compared to what Star Trek has developed over the decades. And so Star Wars, I think, still has tons of shit to look forward to. I think there's going to be definitely more than just one television series on the way. And I definitely know that there's going to be more than just, another movie or two on the way. So that's really exciting stuff. Same thing with Star Trek. I think, even though, I have my little grunts and gripes about J.J. Abrams' movie franchise, for the most part, to sum it all up, I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. They picked a great cast, great stories. I can't wait to see the evolution of the films. I can't wait to see the evolution of the Star Trek television series, Discovery, and then whatever else comes after that. There's just so much cool shit. Then same thing, not only being a fan and enjoying the media, but being a collector and enjoying the collectibles. Again, these are two franchises that shit will never stop being developed for, and it's just always exciting to try to keep up with both. And it's hard to keep up with both because there's just this never-ending, unmassing of knowledge and collectibles and things you will always continue to learn or collect with both franchises, and it's just fun as hell. So, in the end of things, what's better, Star Wars, Star Trek? And my theory is, who gives a shit? Just enjoy both of them, because they're both fucking cool. But anyways, man, thank you for letting me rant and rave about this. Again, this is an episode of Let's Shoot the Shit, and hopefully there'll probably be many more of Let's Shoot the Shit and just talking about whatever comes to mind or whatever I'm hearing is the big debate, or things from the past, things of the future, whatever. Who cares? But thanks for joining me. Until we meet again, this is your host, Anthony Seven, signing off. Please take care of yourself and take care of each other.